Nobody else will do it for you, and you will stay miserable. And bullied, made fun of, simply because of her boobs. And I was bullied because I didn't have big boobs.
So what do you want? No boobs or big boobs?
Let's start with, yes, I have been told Hello there. Hello. Welcome back to Duo Magique. And today I have a very special guest with me, Megan. Hello everybody, my name is Megan. I am Eloise's friend. She kindly invited me over to have this little chat about confidence. I'm really excited about that.
I'm very happy that I can have Megan here. When I saw her for the first time, I was blown away by how confident she looks.
Aww.
I honestly thought that, but I didn't say that until it was 2 weeks when we got to know each other better, because I didn't want to look like a pervert. So yeah, and today we're going to talk about confidence. Yeah,
We're gonna go and answer some questions.
yes, let's get started. What is the source of your confidence?
So, the source of confidence is definitely self-love and self-acceptance. If you do not have self-acceptance, or you don't know yourself, you cannot have true confidence. You can have shallow confidence, which comes from, I don't know, being exactly how society tells you, like having the car of everyone's dreams, having the clothes that everybody thinks is great, or looking a certain way, or having a certain girlfriend or boyfriend, like having a certain life. That is shallow confidence. Like as soon as you lose those things, you don't have confidence anymore. And this is not true confidence.
So it doesn't stay.
Exactly, it doesn't stay. Confidence doesn't come from outside, it always comes from inside. Something relatable is when you have a look at actors. There are many actors that do not fit into society's beauty standards, and they still come off as very charming and everybody likes them. Have you ever asked yourself why? It's because they have a great personality. It comes from inside. They have ideas, they do things they believe in, and people just admire just how authentic they are. So I don't know if you guys know this rapper, but his name is Jack Harlow. In my opinion, he's not good looking. Like
No offense.
No, he is. I feel like aesthetically speaking, he doesn't have that handsome image that society tries to promote to men, but he's so charming. He is so confident about himself, and when you listen to his raps, it just blows you away and he becomes attractive. He actually became so attractive to me because of the way he thinks and the things he says. So it makes me understand confidence doesn't come from your face or your body, it comes from your soul, who you are, your personality, and of course knowing yourself.
That is a really good answer, because you give out some examples, as well as, you know, you take the audience through the journey. Why it's not coming from the outside, it's actually from the inside.
Exactly.
Which takes us to the second question. When you mention it's not from the outside, I think it includes physical features.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the second question is, how do we deal with insecurities about physical imperfections?
So first of all, your confidence should never come from external factors, because at any given point in time you could lose those factors. They can change. As long as you understand that in order to have confidence, it needs to start from the inside, my answer is going to become very much easier for you to accept. When we have to deal with physical imperfections, we recognize those parts of ourselves as unwanted. You really need to ask yourself, how come you don't want it? Is it because you personally cannot stand it? Or is it because somebody else is telling you that's unwanted? Find the truth about your beliefs. Do they come from outside, or do they come from yourself? For example, when I was a teenager, you guys cannot see it right now, but I have a big butt. And when I was a teenager, I was bullied because of that. Everybody said that I had a huge ass and that was undesirable back then. I don't know if I can say that.
Go for it. Go
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. And I used to feel very insecure about that. So I remember trying to hide it, trying to lose weight to make it less and less, but it's a part of my body. I personally did not mind it because I thought it had a nice shape. It gave me a lot of harmony when it came to my proportions. But because I was so reliant on what other people's perception of me was, I started hating that feature about myself. But guess what? Kim Kardashian came. Perception of big butt changed, and suddenly everybody liked my butt. And that's when I started gaining confidence, because I was still a teen, I was very insecure about myself, and unless somebody else told me that I looked good, I couldn't find the self-esteem to actually say, hey, you know what, I really like this feature about myself. I am not going to change it for everybody. That wasn't me. I was like, you say that I have a big butt and you love it, perfect. I am beautiful.
Yeah, I think that actually kind of echoes back to what you said about nothing is permanent, because maybe one day people like big butt, maybe one day people don't. The example you gave actually reminds me, because when I was back in high school, my closest friend, who's actually getting married soon, congratulations, when she was a teenager, she was bullied, made fun of, simply because of her boobs. And I was bullied because I didn't have big boobs.
So what do you want? No boobs or big boobs? Which one?
Yeah, and I would say being a teenager wasn't easy, because you were not strong enough to stick to who you really believe you are.
Yeah.
So whatever other people say, you take it really personally.
Yeah.
But then I guess it ties up with another question that we got, which is, how do we deal with traditionally mainstream aesthetic views? I guess you have answered that as well.
I have another answer as well.
Yeah.
I guess that by now you can predict what my answer will be. Society will always try to control our perception of what's beautiful and what's not beautiful, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. It's because we as people want safety, and we get taught from our parents when we're children to follow what they say, because they do not trust us to be independent, which is quite okay. You know, when you're a 5-year-old child, you don't know how to survive by yourself, so you have to be dependent from your parents. But this mentality doesn't change until you're old enough to actually have an adult life. You also take society's authority with understanding if you can be accepted or not, because you have not developed a sense of your own self, and you do not feel confident enough to rely on your own likes.
Exactly.
And you end up looking the same as everyone else. Go on hashtags, Instagram model or beauty Instagram, and scroll on all the girls or all the guys that you see. They all look the same. They all have big eyes, straight noses, pouty lips. They're either blonde, brunette, curls, no curls, tan skin, or white skin in China. Can you tell me where is the beauty in being all the same? You as people come with a natural talents in this world, and you're all unique. You come with unique features, unique quirks, and the beauty in humanity comes just from the differences. Can you imagine if all the cultures were the same, with all the countries would look the same?
It'd be so boring.
It would be very boring. If you spent your life in London and every other place on earth would look like London, nobody would travel.
Then what's the point to travel?
Exactly. What's the point to travel if everything looks the same?
Nice. Ooh. Sorry about that. Someone just sent me an email. Maybe I should check it, but never mind. Does your culture encourage or restrict your self-confidence? And if you come from a certain culture or a certain upbringing, would it be possible for you to rise above it? For example, if you have a traumatic childhood where people were just always bashing on you and made you feel you're worthless and you're worth nothing.
That's the thing, If you had a very traumatic past where your parents or your guardians, the people that we're taking care of you, we're never recognizing you or loving you or accepting you, it is very hard and very challenging to love yourself, because from such a young age you've been taught that you're loveless, you're unworthy.
Yeah, that's so horrible.
That is horrible. Parents are essential, like guardians are essential. Love is essential. Love is one of the most important, I would say it's the most important thing that a human being can have. My practical advice would be to definitely go to a therapist, because if an individual comes from a traumatic past, by the way, trauma is not just huge things like poverty or natural disasters or like, I don't know, violence. Trauma, war, exactly. Yeah. Trauma can come from small things like your routine has changed or you are moving around. Yeah. Honestly, trauma can be small and can be huge. You still have it. Do go to a therapist in order to talk about it and to heal the wound. Build an environment and a social network full of people that inspire you and that encourage you being your best self. Do not stay with toxic people or people that you have codependent relationships with. By the way, do your research about codependency. We all have it and it's horrible. It really does a number on confidence.
I would say basically the same as you said, but more specifically is that if you don't want to, or if you don't have the opportunity to talk to a therapist, you can just tell yourself that it is okay to have traumatic experience like that. It is in the past. There's nothing you can do to change it. So what you can do is to not look back too much. Don't dwell in it, because it will be like a swamp. And then if you do have the opportunity, just go talk to a therapist. I'm 100% on the same page with you, because trauma can be a small thing. I have a traumatic experience, which is I still can't deal with people shouting at me. I immediately just go into tears. I actually want to go into tears now when I picture people shouting at me. I don't know where it comes from, probably my old mathematics teacher. So yeah, it could be something as small as being shouted at when you're at a really young age. So,
yeah, exactly. I think I was saying something, but then I forgot. What was the question? Find out what your passions are, what your hobbies are, what makes you happy, and do that. And build a mindset where you believe in yourself, where you are your first cheerleader. Yeah. And where you say, I deserve this. Because if you don't, nobody else will do it for you and you will stay miserable. I need to be honest with you guys, you will stay miserable. Nobody else. Confidence, happiness doesn't come from outside. It doesn't come in the future. It doesn't come in the past. It is in the present. What is here, real, is the present. So why cannot you be happy right now in the present? You tell me. And whatever answer you came up with is what's limiting you.
Yeah, you can type on the screen of whatever you think is restricting you and maybe the reason why you think you shouldn't be happy now, which I doubt there will be any.
So no, actually they can come up with many reasons. But what's funny is that if you actually read the reasons why you cannot be happy right now, they're not true. For example, I used to believe that I couldn't be happy right now because I didn't have an acting career yet. And I was like, is that true? No, it's not true. I can just put the work in it and do that and be happy right now. Allow yourself to be happy.
Yes. Yeah, that's a really important lesson. You don't have to stay miserable and
who's gonna be happy because you're miserable? The others?
Then they're toxic people.
Leave
them. Just cut them like coupons.
Exactly. Just cut them like coupons and then throw them in the bin.
Yeah. Definitely. They recyclable ones, by the way.
Environmentally friendly.
We have some other questions. Actually, I think we've done a really good job. We have this one done, this one done, this one done. I mean, this video is longer than we expected, so we're gonna film an ending with part 1 now. Yes. So I'll see you in part 2. See you in part 2. Bye. That's great music for it.